Most trailers out there aren't built for the outdoors. They're built for catalog pictures. They look great from a distance or sitting in a showroom, maybe even in a museum where they'll stay protected from real life. But that's not how we do things here. This is a Peak Mtn Camp X30, built from the ground up for full-time living, 4-season use, and the kind of durability that makes most RVs look like a toy. In this video, we'll show you what sets the X30 apart, the construction details you don't see in most trailers, the comforts that make it livable year-round, and why this model might be the most capable 30-footer ever built. Let's get into it. Alright guys, I always mention that I'm going to keep it brief on the exterior. I'm going to keep it brief on the exterior of this one just because it's windy. I don't want the sound quality to be terrible, so we're going to make this pretty quick. So as I mentioned in the introduction, this one's an X30, so 30 foot from tongue to bumper. That would put you at a 24-foot box. So 24-foot living space is what you'd be seeing here. And these are all custom built, so really anything that you want, colors, layouts, appliances, all of those things can all be considered when speccing out one of these trailers. So, and that's what sets us apart, is where they are so customizable. There's no cookie cutter mold of the frames that we're just doing one generic frame, throwing different layouts on. Every one of these is engineered specifically to where you get the perfect setup. So perfect axle placement, perfect tongue weight, perfect toe characteristics, all of those things that are going to be very crucial in your experience, because at the end of the day, it's all about the experience. If you're white-knuckled as you travel down the road and everything, not a great experience. If you don't even notice that it's behind you, that's what we're looking for. Now, obviously, these weigh a bit. They're not built out of cardboard and paper like most of your other RVs. These are all built out of 3/4, 1/2 inch solid woods on the interior, and so you can see heavy-duty frame. All of those things are going to be taken into consideration, and I'm going to get beat up. I do almost every video that we post about the flat face of this, about the aerodynamics and stuff. Really, aerodynamics are not all that important when you're pulling something around that weighs 12,000 pounds. So, I mean, you look at UPS trucks, semi-trucks, box trucks, all of those things. Aerodynamics isn't a great concern to them due to, yeah, they're pulling a lot of weight. So you're not buying one of these to get great gas mileage. That being said, let's hurry and go around. 2 5/16 coupler. This is a 21,000 pound coupler. Adjustable to where if you adjust that with an adjustable hitch as well as that adjustable coupler, then we can really fine tune the characteristics, make sure that we get everything the way that we want to. 4,000 pound Bulldog, electric jack. You can do manual jacks. Like I say, they're all custom, so they'll come standard with 2 7-gallon 30-pound propane tanks with the cover. This is something that we're doing on all of them now. Another handrail. So we've always done these little broom holders and handrails on the front, but it is nice to be able to have a second place to grab and pull yourself up. It also secures those propane tanks a lot better. Just works out really nice. Right up here in the front, we do utilize all the space that we can, and so as you can see here, we've got a latch. Opens this grate up to where these are removable, to where you can store tire chocks, stabilizer jack handles, really anything that you don't care is getting wet or road grime or anything like that on it. That's a good use of space for that kind of stuff. So just moving around, this does have the split half door. It's called a Dutch door. That top half opens up to where that's a super cool thing. Kind of traditional, same with the broom on the front. It's a traditional thing. They have added the wainscot on this, meaning that diamond plate down the side, which makes them look really sharp. I like the look of that. The steps do fold up, so these will fold up and sit right on there, and they're heavy, so you don't have to worry about strapping them down. They're not going anywhere as you travel. So nice up out of the way. And that's one thing, like as I mentioned on the interior, like these are made to be used. We don't want you confined to a Walmart parking lot. We want you to be able to get out and enjoy the places that you want to see. So you have really high ground clearance as you look underneath. You don't have any tanks, pipes, anything dragging way down low. This is actually the tank enclosure here. So this is all insulated, enclosed. There's heat ducted into there that allows this to be a true 4-season trailer. You can live in these year round, not much issue. So you're about 30 inches from the ground to the bottom of that angle iron. So lots of ground clearance there. Water heater, showers. I'm just going to point out kind of some of the things that are unique to this one, I guess. The door configuration, and you'll see on the inside kind of the layout and what determines what we can do on exterior and stuff. You got your stabilizer jacks as well as your spare tire. This one has the 3 receivers on the back, which has become kind of popular, and I guess it depends on what you're using them for. These would be nice if you wanted to put a bike rack, generator rack, whatever back there. It is set up to where you can pull. Now you're going to want to check to see if that's legal in your state. Most places, as far as I know, you can't pull 2 balls together, but that's kind of whatever you think. It is wired to where it does have lights and everything back there. You've got all your DOT compliant lights set up for Starlink, as well as coax or any other form of internet that's going to take that RJ45 connection. You have 2 100-watt solar panels standard on all of them. You can add more panels. You can add ports to where you can do portable panels. You can do a lot of different things on them. In here you'd have your batteries, just some storage area, fresh water setup. You've got 7,200-pound axles. These are 8 lug. These are 14-ply tires. And I will tell you, so I've had some comments that I've asked about the suspension. Why we don't do independent suspension. Why we don't do some of these newer, more modern suspension setups. To be honest, it's because as you travel around, no matter where you're at in the country, you're going to be able to find parts for this. So if you ever did run into an issue, it's solved easily. I have several trailers that come with the independent suspension that have sat at our shop all summer waiting for parts. I hate that. Why have a trailer if you can't use it when you want to be using it? And so we use things that, you know, yeah, they might not be the latest and greatest things, but they're tried, true, and available. And so a lot of these foreign suspension companies and stuff, if I got to wait for parts to come in, that's not a good thing in my opinion. So you've got your furnace, some vents for your fridge. This does have the air conditioner. And I think, like I say, that was a pretty broad overview of the exterior. If you want me to go into more detail, I can. And you're more than welcome to check out any of our other videos. I generally will spend a little more time on the exterior going through it, but I'm trying to keep this one a little bit shorter. So anyways, we're going to go on the inside and see what it has to offer. All right, let's work our way in. As I mentioned as we did the exterior, the split door. So that top half will pull over, can leave that bottom half shut. They used to use these to regulate temperature. Now with sliding windows and all of that stuff, no longer needed. So As you can see, really cool layout. This is becoming a really popular layout. The split beds, this one does have the bunk above it. It's just, yeah, it's becoming a really popular option for people. So what I want to do first is I just want to go through all of the colors. So we'll go through the colors first, like we always do, and then I'll work my way back up to the front and show you around up there. So walls on this one are a Brazil wood, and then the cabinet color on this one is also Brazil wood. The flooring is a vintage pine, and then the countertops are a summer carnival. Really nice. I like the way that all these colors come together. Turns out really good. So we'll start up here in the front. Big double closet. Now, as I mentioned, the colors. So as each of these are custom, you can choose all of the colors. So you choose everything from the walls to the floor to the cabinets to the cushions, recliners, all of that stuff. But what we do is all of our cabinets are made out of an alder. And so I take knotty alder, as you can see, this has got a lot of character in it. Looks awesome. But we'll take an alder, and we can do these to where they're not all knotty, to where you can just get plain alder. And then what I'll do is I'll go through and finish these to whatever color you want. So, but as far as poles, all of that stuff is decided by you. So big hanging closet. Got a light in here. Tons and tons of storage. So yeah, all hardwood, and then these do have soft close hinges on them. So as we close these, you can see they're nicer than the cabinets in my house. But that's what we're going for. We want something that's going to last, that's going to hold up, that's going to do what it needs to do. So on the bottom, you have 2 rows of giant drawers. And these have thumb latches on them as well, so that you can lock them. These are dovetail drawers. And then they have latching drawer slides on them also. So as I push this in, you can see it slam. That's going to hold most of the drawers closed, so that as you travel, you don't have to worry about opening the door and finding your stuff all over the ground. Drawer slides broke, all of that stuff. We do add these thumb latches on these bigger drawers just because you're going to put a lot of stuff in there, and it's going to be a lot of weight going down the road. And so I don't want to be solely dependent on those drawer slides to be able to hold that. So as we move farther to the back, we've got our stainless steel. Let me move back a little bit so you can see a little better. Stainless steel fridge freezer combo. This is a 2-way fridge, so as I turn this on, you can see we're set right now to be auto or on electric only. If I hit that mode, I can change between gas. I can go to auto. What auto is going to do is it's going to search for AC power first. If it doesn't find AC power, it's going to automatically switch to propane. If it doesn't find propane, it's going to give us a warning telling us that it couldn't find either one of them. So either we've got a power issue or our propane's off or out, something that way. But really big freezer, as well as a really good size fridge as well. Lots of shelving and drawers in the sides. And this one is elevated to where the furnace is underneath it. So that raises that up a lot. That gives you a lot. It keeps you from bending down, I guess. And I like that about that. In the top, you have your microwave. And this one's got the doors. So you can do these in a number of configurations. If you want a built-in microwave with the air fry or something that way, what we would do is you would have to either find a different location for it, or we would lower the fridge to accommodate that. The reason we can't do it in the elevated is because of the arch of the ceiling. It doesn't give us enough depth to be able to do the built-in one. So I like the look of this. It's clean. It's stored away. Now, granted, I'm not a cooker by any means, and so the majority of the cooking I'm going to do is probably going to be in the microwave or the air fryer. So I do like having that option. As we move back a little bit, we've got our propane light. Now this thing is awesome. I find that I use it a lot, especially like early spring, early fall when it's cool, but it's not quite cold enough that I want to burn the wood stove. So I find that I use it a lot to just take the chill off. Really nice light. It's warm. It's homey. I like it. You have your stereo. This has got the CD, USB ports, Bluetooth, all of that stuff. Satellite compatible, whatever you want there. Then we have our monitoring system. This is going to take you through all of the levels of your tanks, your battery levels. You can set alarms. As you can see, we've got an alarm now telling us our freshwater tank is empty. It'll also give you an alarm telling you your black or your gray water tank is getting close to full. You can set alarms on your batteries as well to make sure that you're always staying good. So once that runs through everything, it will go ahead and shut off, and then it's going to scan again in about 5 to 10 minutes. So you can set that whatever you want it. But yeah, it's going to take a reading each time. So moving down, we have our black and our gray and our drain pipe heaters. These are 12-volt heaters, so they run off of the batteries, off of the solar, will keep those tanks from freezing. So both of your black and your gray water tanks, they have a built-in thermostat to where if that temperature drops below 45, 40 degrees, it's going to kick on and it's going to heat those back up to 60, 65 degrees. So really neat that way that it can kind of control itself. Like if I turn them on right now, even though the light's on, doesn't mean that they are on, because they are on that thermostat. So kind of cool there. Your drain pipe, it is, once the switch is on, it's on. So I generally will use this one in the winter, generally an hour or two before I dump. Realistically, if the water in my tanks is warm, I shouldn't be froze hard on any of those pipes. Knock on wood, we've never had one freeze solid and break anything. So not saying that it can't be done, but yeah, I mean, our tanks are all molded, so they're a lot thicker than anything they use in the RV industry. And then we go through about every, I don't know what to say, we make sure that we're covered. Our bases are covered when we put these tanks in. So we've got 12-volt heat present there. We've also got duct work from our forced air furnace that is ducted into there, so that when that furnace is running, you're pumping warm air in there. And then we do have this recirculation fan, which allows you to circulate warm air from inside of the camp when you're utilizing the wood burning stove. So, which is really nice, because even if you have your thermostat step for your furnace, it's going to be satisfied because that wood burning stove is just cranking. And so being able to turn that on, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a fan and it just pulls hot air from that wood burning stove and circulates it throughout the trailer and also into that tank enclosure. So lots of sources of heat present in those tank enclosures, which allows you a lot of freedom in when you use it, where you use it. I mean, granted, boondocking, this is probably going to be my last resort, just because I've got other sources that aren't going to run my batteries down. And so I'm always trying to conserve. Yeah, you've got a big bank of battery storage, you've got solar, you've got all those things. But I like the fact that I can run everything without drawing a lot of power down. So this is the interior cabinet lights. So each of these cabinets have lights in them, which is nice as you're getting stuff out of them. Each of these benches have lights in them, so it makes it nice and easy to get to things, see what you're doing. You've got your water heater switch. These benches lift up, and there's storage below them. And then this will also fold down. So this is just a two-person dinette, which I like because it really leaves this floor space open. Gives you a nice space, nice walkway to where you can easily walk past someone, whereas some of the 4-person dinettes, they eat up a lot of that floor space. So I do like this. This is just going to a couple. They're not worried about sleeping anyone else, sitting anyone else, anything like that, so it works for them. So like I say with the custom stuff, get it how you want it. You don't have to get some cookie cutter mold of a trailer that you're never going to use a lot of the features. We want you to be able to utilize everything in it. So this will fold down as well to where you could sleep someone if you wanted to sleep someone there. And then they did add the bunk too, to where they can do the bunk up there and sleep someone there. You've got your curtains. This is a 48-inch window. You've got two 48-inch windows on this side. And they're a dual pane window. It's your thermostat for your 4-star furnace. And then you have your reclining sofas. Now this is nice. These will lay pretty much flat. They're super comfortable. Lots of different color combinations, fabrics, all of that different stuff that you can choose from. They did add the center console on this one. There goes our alarm. The center console, you've got some cup holders, some storage in the center of it. And then you've also got a phone charger in the top, which is nice. And then back to the beds, you've got two twin XL beds, split beds in the back. And then below the beds, you have some big drawers. And then on this side, they left the one area open for a little dog bed to where they can take their little dog with them. You've got a drawer in your nightstand in the center. AC plugs, USB ports, all of that stuff. You've got your reading lights. These are three different brightnesses that you can choose from. They do have USB ports on the bottom of them as well. You've got an egress window. I failed to mention this in all of the videos, and I've been called out on it because when people see the wood stove, they think, oh man, fire, what are we going to do? We've only got one exit. We are required, all trailers are required to have 2 exits. So you have egress windows in various places in the trailers. You've got your bunk. This would also be a twin XL. And then, as I mentioned, on the exterior, it's set up for all of your Starlink, antennas, satellite, whatever you want that way. More AC plugs, as well as 12-volt and USB plugs. This does have not the Fantastic fan, the Air Max fan. We've just switched to this one. But it'll bring air in or out. You can change your speeds on it. It's got a rain sensor, so it'll close if it rains. Really nice feature, especially when regulating temperature, because you can pull air in or out. You can set it on a temperature. It'll do what it needs to do. You got your speakers. You've got your 28-inch. I think it's a 28-inch. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive on it. But it's a 12-volt TV, so it'll run off your batteries off of the solar. It also has a DVD player in it, and it's a smart TV. So you can do a lot of cool things with it and not have to run your generator, not have to run an inverter, any of that. It isn't on a pivot to where you can pivot it and watch it from the beds. You can pivot it and watch it from the recliners. You can do a lot of different things with it. And you have a little entertainment center with a row of drawers below it. And then you have the star of the show. And sitting across, I'm just going to give you the view. So sitting across from here, watching your favorite football team or whatever, Christmas movie, man, nothing better. But you can see that thing's just a roasting. I don't know what the temperature is in here. I still have my coat on, but it feels like it's getting pretty warm. Doesn't take lots to heat this, and you know, once it's warm in here, there is 6 inches of R19 insulation in the floor. There's also 6 inches of R19 in the ceiling. and then the walls are 2.5 inches thick that has insulation in them. So once your temperature is warm in here, it'll maintain that temperature. These aren't cardboard boxes. I hear it all the time as trailers come in for repairs that they hate their furnace because it runs all night long. Their batteries are dead. It uses a lot of propane. It's not the furnace. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the furnace. They're sticking a furnace in a cardboard box and expecting it to keep it at a certain temperature, and it works its guts out trying to do it. And so not the furnace's fault, but we don't have that problem in one of ours. Like I say, that thermostat, once it's satisfied, it stays satisfied because it retains that. Not only is the furnace more efficient, but your fridge is more efficient. Your water heater is more efficient. All of your appliances are just that much more efficient because they don't have to work hard. They're put in an environment where they can succeed and do the things that they need to do, and they work fantastic. So you got your stainless steel range. This does have the oven. Good size oven. I know I mentioned that I probably only use the microwave, and I'm still sticking with that, but if I had to, I could bake in this. You got your 3-burner cooktop. Lots of counter space. This does have the breadboard. Pull out. And then a row of drawers below it. And then some tip outs. Big double stainless steel sink. It's got the pull down faucets. All of this stuff is all household stuff. I'll even show you some of the fittings. Let me turn on these cabinet lights. Looking at these fittings, we use all brass fittings. All of your water lines are all in insulated space, all inside, all brass valves, braided hoses. That's the thing. We don't want to have any issues. And so we see the things that fail on a daily basis in the travel trailers, and we're not interested in using any of that stuff. And so we build these things to where they're going to hold up, to where when you do spend some time outdoors, that's what you're doing, spending time out there. You're not fixing things. So overhead storage, these are on gas struts, so it'll both hold them up as well as hold them closed so that you don't have to worry about stuff falling out. So lots of overhead storage above this. Then you have a little storage area above here, and then these are pull-out pantries. So you have one up above and one below, and then they're on thumb latches as well. We can set the shelf heights, all of those things, whatever you want it. Like I say, where these are custom, get them how you want it. And that brings us up to the bathroom. I love this door. I like the character of the knotty alder and the Brazil wood. It really brings a lot of that out. This door is 1.5 inches thick. As you can see, it has a continuous hinge that runs the entire length to support that weight. Mirrored medicine cabinet. Kind of a little nook area. This one kind of jogs in behind those pantries to utilize that space. Vanity sink. You've got a drawer. And then some storage down below. Porcelain toilet. You've got your exhaust fan. Frosted bathroom window. Then this one, they did the shower curtain in it, so you can do the glass doors. You can do a number of different things in these bathrooms. This one is the 32 by 32 shower, so we can do them a 24 by 32, a 32 by 32. I've got one that's being built right now that's a 36 by 36. So lots of options there depending on the configuration, but I think that bathroom actually turns out really nice. You got that. It didn't look super good with that hanging all the way out, but And that's one thing that I've noticed as I've had customers here this week as they've come in. They've said, wow, the bathroom's actually a lot bigger than what it looks on your videos, and it is. The videos don't do them justice. If you can make it out to our shop, we would love to have you. We love showing these things off. They're a lot of fun. Maybe one thing that I'll mention as I'm right here is your lights. Now, all of your main lights, your porch lights, everything, they're on dimmers. So we can dim the lights way down. You still got that propane light going, but kind of a nice feature. You can use that as an on-off switch, but you've got your porch lights, your main lights, your bathroom lights, all of those are there. And then this is just an access door to plumbing, to where if you ever had to get to anything in there, it's there. So anyways, I hope that you've liked this layout. This one's been fun to build. It's fun to work with the customers. They've already been here to see it. They're coming to pick it up tomorrow. But just to see their dreams become a reality is always fun for us, because everybody's just a little bit different in how they spec their trailers out, what they want, how they're going to utilize it. It's always fun to visit with them, get to know them a little better, and like I say, make that dream become a reality. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comments, anything, leave them in the comments. I try and get to all of them. Yeah, and share away. We appreciate all you do for us.